Kombucha Kev, and in this video I'll be walking you through how to brew kombucha within a brewer's edge mash and boil. So this is basically an all-in-one system if you're looking to scale up to brewing 5-gallon batches for kegging within a corny keg. This actually has a 7-gallon capacity, which I found is perfect for kombucha because you'll get your 5 gallons for the keg, but then you'll have extra to either top up your SCOBY hotels, or you can use that for starter for your next batch. So first step, of course, when you're using the system is to clean and sanitize, which I've done already. I've added the water to the system and I set it for 200 degrees for the black tea I'll be using, which is an organic Positively Tea Assam black tea. So I'm just going to open this up, and for 7 gallons of water, I do 3 cups of tea. So I'm just going to add that in. The really nice thing about this system is there's a basket in here which will catch all that tea. But the one thing I've noticed is it helps to kind of pull the basket in and out while it's brewing, just to help circulate the tea and make sure all the water, gets with the tea. So I'm going to let this go for about 7 minutes and periodically pull the basket up and down, and then I'll restart the video from there. Alright, so the 7-minute brew time is up, and so what I'm going to do now is pull out the filter basket that the tea is in, and there's these nice little prongs that you can rest the basket on so that it can fully drain out. So this will just take a minute or two for it to kind of funnel through the holes at the bottom. Now I'll take this off, set it aside for now. The problem though is this tea is still piping hot. Like I mentioned, I had it running at 200 degrees. So to cool it quicker, I use what's called an immersion cooler. And basically this will go directly into the tea. And now I'm going to relocate closer to the sink. So I can actually connect this directly to the faucet with this coupler and an adapter that you could screw onto the faucet. Then I could turn on the cold water and it'll run through the coil and cool it a lot quicker than it would, without it. So I'm going to go relocate over there now. So like I mentioned, this will attach directly to your sink. It's important that you have the kind of faucet that has this little screw-off filter though. The sinks that don't have that won't be able to attach this adapter. So this will screw right on here. And then the hose for the chiller will go right on top of that. And then there's the outlet hose that goes into the sink. Then you turn the water on cold, and that'll start to flow through and come out this pipe. So you just let this sit. It'll probably take about 10 to 15 minutes, but I'll start the video up around that point. Alright, so my tea has cooled. I let it go to about 75 degrees, just so it's still a little warm. I think that helps with the fermentation process. So next I'm going to add in the sugar. And like I said, I have 7 gallons, so I do about 1 cup per gallon. So I'll be putting in 7 cups of sugar. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to make sure I stir it really well. All right, so that's 7 gallons of sweet tea. Like I said in the beginning, I'm going to draw off about 2 gallons, and this will go into my SCOBY hotel. But then also I've drawn out about 1.5 gallons of basically vinegar kombucha that I'll put into the vessel. So that way I'll be filling up my hotels with tea for it to, help raise the level in here since I'm getting kind of low. But then I'm also adding a lot of vinegar in here that's going to help speed up the fermentation process. Nice thing about this system is having this spigot down here. It just speeds things up a lot more than vessels that don't have those, and you have to do different methods of getting the liquid out. All right, so there's my 2 gallons of sweet tea I'll be putting in the hotel, and then here's the starter kombucha. And then the last step is to move a SCOBY in. Some people don't use SCOBYs. SCOBYs are a byproduct of the fermentation process, so technically you don't need one, but I found that the process goes quicker having one. I think having something to seal it off from the start just helps speed it along. So I put one in. I'm going to first sanitize my gloves. I have some Star San down here. So you never want to touch a SCOBY with bare hands, otherwise you're getting your bacteria in there. So I sanitize my gloves before touching it, and I'm going to pull it out. Here is a giant SCOBY, and I'm just going to bring them over, and that one's good to go. Like I said, I'm going to put the tea in my hotel just to keep that running. But otherwise, that's the full process. This will probably take a few weeks to turn to kombucha. At that point, I'll keg it up and enjoy it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Next video I'll do is doing that process of kegging it into a corny keg. Of course, I'll also have the flavoring process as well. So yeah, feel free to subscribe if you want to follow along. Thanks for joining. Bye.